You're waiting for permission. Permission to want more, permission to be ambitious, permission to prioritize yourself, permission to say no, permission to change your mind, permission to want a career, a life, a relationship that you actually want. And the worst part is you don't even realize you're doing it. You're waiting for somebody to tell you it's okay. Your partner, your parents, your friends, the society, the internet, someone, anyone, to give you permission to want what you want. You don't need that permission. You don't need anybody's permission. Never had, never will. What if I told you you didn't have to choose between the business and the relationship, between the money and the life, between being ambitious and being feminine? You can have it all. This is Kimmy Unfiltered, where we say what everyone's thinking but won't say out loud. Let's talk permission. And I don't mean literal permission, like asking your boss for a day off or asking your partner if you can buy something. I mean the invisible permission you've been waiting for. The permission to ask for a 6-figure salary when your parents never made more than 50K. The permission to leave a good job because it's draining you. The permission to have the marriage, the career, the money that doesn't revolve around either one. The permission to rest without guilt, to be ambitious without being called selfish, to want more even though on paper, you clearly have enough. And here's the wildest thing. You don't even know that you're waiting for this permission. You're waiting for somebody to validate your feelings, for somebody to tell you it's okay to want what you want, for proof that you deserve it before you can go for it. And I did this for years. I wanted to start Elevate back in 2024, but I didn't. I waited. For what? For my then fiancé to say you can do it? For my family to understand why I will choose to live a stable career path? For someone, anyone to tell me luxury made sense, for proof that I could do it before I even started. I waited for 2 years. And you know what happened while I was waiting? Nothing. Because nobody was coming to give me the permission. And no one is coming to give you the permission either. And why do we do this? The simple answer is because we were taught to. We were taught that wanting more is greedy, that ambition is unfeminine, good girls don't ask for too much, gratitude meant settling. And so we ended up learning to shrink our wants, to minimize our needs, to wait for permission to dream bigger. So in this episode, I'm telling you what I wish somebody had told me in the year 2024. Stop waiting. You already have all the permission you need. It's called your life. Let's break down where you're waiting and how to stop it. Let's start with the big one, ambition. You want more. You want the big career, the big income. Heck, you want the big life. But we were all taught that wanting more is being greedy. So we ended up downplaying it. I mean, I do like a 6-figure job, but I'll be okay with anything. I do want to start my own business, but I also don't want to be one of those boss girl type of women. I want success, but I also don't want to be seen like I'm obsessed with money. Every time you add but, you are asking for permission to want what you want. Initially, Elevate began with an idea of a candle. And I remember when I spoke to somebody that I want to start a candle business. This is what they told me. Isn't that a little much? And low-key, I felt guilty. Like wanting more made me feel like I was ungrateful. Having an ambition was a character flaw to me. So I found myself downplaying it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of an idea I'm floating around with. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, well, no big deal. But every time I did that, every time I minimized what I wanted, I was asking for permission. And guess what? I am done doing that. Here's what I learned. Wanting more does not make you greedy. It makes you human. There's nothing wrong with wanting a bigger life, bigger than what you currently have, a big income, a big impact. You don't even need to apologize for it. But what about gratitude? You can be grateful for where you are and want more. Those two things can coexist simultaneously. I mean, I'm grateful for what I have, but I do want more. I'm grateful for the life that I have, and I'm creating a life that I imagine, both at the same damn time. So stop waiting for permission to be ambitious. Stop adding, but I'm grateful every time you express a desire that you have. You are allowed to want more and to go after it. And you're also allowed to be unapologetic about it. And anybody who calls you ungrateful, they're projecting their limitations to you. So stop waiting. You have permission. Go on and dream bigger. Area 2, permission to prioritize yourself. You have often been told that putting yourself first is selfish. So you put everyone else first, your partner, your parents, your kids, your job, your friends, the society. And then you tell yourself, I'll focus on myself when everybody else is taken care of. Here's one thing you need to know. Everyone will never be taken care of, not fully at least. There will always be somebody who needs something from you, somebody who wants your time, someone who expects you to show up. And if you wait until everybody else is settled before you can prioritize yourself, guess what? You'll be waiting a long time. Here's something that happened to me very recently. Last month, I got a gig to work on a website design. Good money. This was supposed to be an easy yes. And I said no. To be fair, I'm as shocked as you are. I was saying no to money. Money. American dollars. But in reality, I was swamped. I was working towards launching Elevate. I was batch creating 4 podcasts a weekend. I was editing. I was creating a launch plan. I was literally running on fumes. The old me would have said yes. The old me would have figured out how to push through it. Burn both sides of the candle just to do it. Maybe even apologize for not delivering it fast enough. But I didn't. And here's what I learned. When you say no to protect your energy, you're not being selfish. You're just being strategic. Because if I said yes, I would have done a mediocre job. And that doesn't serve anyone. Not them, not me. Maybe they'll have been happy with the job, but in the depth of my heart, I'll have known that was a shit-ass job that I did. So here's the permission you've been waiting for. You are allowed to put yourself first. To say no to money because you need rest, to turn down opportunities that do not fit the season you're in, to set boundaries that protect your time and your energy. You are allowed to choose you. And some people will never understand this. Let them. Because the people that call you selfish for protecting your energy and time are the same people who will only benefit if you're not protecting it. I mean, think about it. Who benefits when you say yes all the time? When you don't have boundaries? When you're exhausted and depleted? The answer is for sure not you. So stop waiting for permission to choose yourself. You don't need anybody's approval to rest, to say no, to protect your time and your energy. The premises is simple. Your life, your rules. You're allowed to put yourself first, to choose you over and over again. And if somebody calls you selfish, what's the worst that can happen? Here's what I know now. I have changed and I'm not apologizing for it. Stop waiting for permission to live your life. Area number 3, permission to want it all. This one pisses me off the most. There's always this discourse of you can't have it all. You can either have the career or the life. You can be ambitious or feminine. You can either rest or be successful, but never both. And so you find yourself choosing either one, the life or the business. And I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. You can have it all, not once, not perfectly, but you can have it all. You can have the career and the relationship. You can be feminine and you can be ambitious. You can build the business and rest. You can want more and still be grateful. Only when I stopped believing in that idea is when I was actually able to achieve it all. I have Elevate. I have the marriage. I have the podcast. I have my content creation. And somebody will ask me, how do you do it all? The easiest and the most honest truth is I don't. Not all, not at once, not perfectly. Some weeks Elevate gets 90% of my time and the rest of other buckets get whatever 10% is left. Some weeks I put the podcasts on the front burner. Some weeks my marriage is on the front burner and then my business is on the second burner. It's just a form of balance you need to come to terms with. But one thing I'm not gonna do is to choose one thing permanently above everything else. I'm building a life where I have all of them, just not perfectly, not at the same time, but yes, I have all of them. And the only reason you think you can't is because you've been told so long that you can't. By the society who benefits when women stay small, by the culture that makes women choose between being successful or being likable, by a system that benefits when women don't believe that they deserve more. So here's the permission you've been waiting for all along. You can actually have it all. Not anybody's version of all, your versions of having it all. The career that fulfills you, the relationship that supports you, the life that excites you, the rest that refills you. And you don't need to ask if it's possible because it is. You don't have to ask if you deserve it because you do. You just need to stop waiting for somebody to tell you to go for it. No one's coming. No one's coming to save you. So you need to stop waiting and start building today. Action number 4 is having the permission to change your mind about anything. You're allowed to change your mind about your career, about your marriage, about your relationship, about your goals, about whatever it is that you want. But we've been told for a very long time that changing our minds makes us flaky, inconsistent, unreliable. So you stay consistent in a job that you hate, in a city that you have outgrown, in a version of you that you no longer recognize. All this is because you said you wanted this particular thing once, and you don't want people to find you inconsistent, flaky, or unreliable. You don't want to be seen as a person who quits or goes back on their word. At the age of 25, I had this specific life: corporate career, climb the career ladder, traditional path, because everybody told me that was smart, that was stable, that was the right choice. And then I turned 30 and I realized I do not want any of it. I didn't want to climb somebody else's ladder. I wanted to build my own fucking ladder. I didn't want a traditional path. I wanted my own path. I didn't want a traditional marriage. I wanted the modern marriage. And for a minute, I felt so guilty. Like I had wasted time. I was gonna let some people down. Changing my mind meant that I had failed. But here's one thing that I learned. Changing your mind isn't quitting. It's evolving. You're allowed to want one thing at the age of 25 and want something else at the age of 30. You're allowed to commit at something and then realize down the lane that this is not for me, this is not what I want. And here's the better part. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You're allowed to pivot, to redirect, to want differently. What will people think? Well, they'll think you changed your mind. And that's the truth. So stop waiting for permission to choose differently. Stop staying in things, situations, jobs that no longer serve you only because you said you wanted them at some point in life. Stop being loyal at the old version of you in the expense of your current life. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to want something different. And you don't need anybody's permission to do any of it. Area number 5, and my favorite, permission to fail. You're scared to try something new because what? You would fail? And you think failing means you were wrong, don't you? That you wasted your time, that you're going to prove your doubters right. So you wait for the perfect moment, for the perfect time, for the stars to align, for somebody, anybody to grant you success. And while you're waiting, you do nothing. But here's the permission you've been waiting for all along. You are allowed to fail. And you're not just allowed, you are expected to fail, because that's the reality of life. Failure is not proof that you're not good enough. Failure is proof that you tried at something and you didn't succeed. And trying is the only thing that makes things happen. You'll never know how good you are at something if you never try. And you'll never fail if you don't try. Here's another thing that happened to me. I launched Elevate. Week 1, it was amazing. There was hype. Everybody was like, congratulations, you did the damn thing. Girl boss energy. Get your bags, get your coins, the whole 9 yards. Week 2, cricket. To be honest, I panicked. I was like, where's the girl boss gang? Where is everybody? There was a little voice in my head that kept saying, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. Everyone was right. I don't know who everyone was, but everyone was right. I wasn't really ready for this. And then I asked myself, what exactly am I scared of? What am I afraid of? Failure? I'm already failing. There was no sale in week 2 and I survived it. So what's the worst that can happen? And I was fine. Week 2 didn't kill me. I didn't die. And then when week 3 came back, the sales started picking up. It wasn't because I got suddenly better. It's because I kept going. And that's the difference. Failure isn't the ending. Failure is just data. Week 2 taught me I needed better marketing and consistency. I needed to show up even when things were moving slowly. And I wouldn't have learned that if I didn't fail. Here's the truth. You will fail. Multiple times at that. Whatever number you're thinking, multiply it. But you'll need to try again and again and again. And then eventually you will succeed. Not because you're special or you've unlocked a new hidden talent. It's because you never gave up. It's because you kept going. It's because you kept showing up and choosing yourself over and over again. So stop waiting for permission to try, for guaranteed success, for somebody to tell you when you're ready. You're ready. You have always been ready. You just need to start now. I'm going to ask you, let's have a real talk. What are you waiting for? Seriously, what's the permission that you're waiting for that you don't actually have or can't give yourself? Permission to start a business, to rest without guilt, to leave a toxic job, relationship, friendship. You have it. Permission to change your mind? You have all the permissions you need, and then some. The only thing that's holding you back is you. And I get it. I do. Waiting for permission is such a safe cocoon place to be. Because if you're waiting for somebody to tell you when to do it or grant you the permission and things don't go right, you have somebody to blame. Like, I didn't want to do it. You made me do it. So technically, I didn't fail because I didn't want to do it. You made me do it. But if you give yourself permission and it fails, that's on you. And that's going to hurt as a motherfucker. And that can be scary. But again, it's the only way that you are able to build the life that you want. The thing that's between you and the life that you want is that permission. You need to cross over to the other side. And crossing over means sometimes you're going to fail, and that's okay. So here's the question. Are you going to keep waiting? Are you going to wait for your parents to approve? For society to tell you it's okay? Or are you going to give yourself permission to go for the things that you really want to go for? No one's coming to save you. No one is coming to give you the permission that you're waiting for. Your parents, they'll never fully understand your choices. Your partner, they have their own fear and limitations. Society? Fuck society. It benefits from you staying small. So if you're waiting for external permission, you're going to be waiting forever. The only permission that matters is the one that comes from you to you. So here's what I want you to do. Action number 1, identify the one thing that you truly want. What's the one thing that you haven't given yourself the permission to pursue? Is it the career move? Is it a relationship boundary? Is it the big dream? Is it the rest? Is it moving from the city that you have already outgrown? Write it down. Take a piece of paper and write this down. I'm waiting for permission to leave this city, quit my job, start my business. Number 2, ask yourself, who are you waiting for? Who do you think needs to give you that permission? Is it your parents, your partner, the society, your boss? In that list, write their name down. I'm waiting for my partner to give me a permission to quit my job. Write it down. It's between you and yourself. You can be honest. And then number 3, cross their goddamn name off that piece of paper. Because that's not who gets to decide anything that happens in your life. It's you. So cross their name out. Either it's your boss, your parents, your siblings, your relative, the society, whoever it is that's holding you back from dreaming big and going for the life you actually think you deserve. Cross their name out. It's not them. They don't owe you any permission. Action number 4, give yourself the permission. Say it out loud. I give myself the permission to get out of this toxic relationship. On your list, write it down. I'm giving myself a permission to get out of this relationship. I'm not saying you have to go cold turkey. Give yourself time to get your affairs in order. I'm giving myself to resign out of this job in 12 months, meaning you have to come up with a plan of how you're going to survive when you leave your job. And that's it. That's the work. It's not that complicated. Because the moment you stop waiting for external permissions and you give yourself the damn permission, everything, and I mean everything, changes. All right. And that's the thesis behind Kimmy Unfiltered. Stop waiting for permission to want more. You already have it. You always had it. And here's the thing. Having permission is one thing, but it's not enough. You have to actually do the thing that you've been wanting to do all this time. So my question to you, now that you have the permission, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to let it sit there, or are you going to use that to build something that's beneficial for your life? Because permission without action is just that, permission. And the reason I'm sitting here recording this episode is not for you to listen and feel empowered for 10 minutes and then you go about your merry ways. I'm talking to you so you can stop waiting. I want you to work on one action this week. The one thing you've been waiting for permission to do this week. Go ahead and do it. Do not overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for when the stars align. Just go ahead and do it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to get done. And that's the first step. You need to start. That's the hurdle you need to jump. And when you do, tell me about it. I would love to cheer you on. Send me a DM, tag me on your project. I want to see what you build when you stop waiting. Because you do have the permission to do whatever it is that you want. Until then, stop asking for permission, stay unfiltered, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye! And that's it for today's episode. Remember, you can actually have it all. You don't need to apologize for it. I'm Kimmy, and this is Kimmy Unfiltered. If this episode hit home, share it with somebody who needs to hear it the most. Until next Thursday, bye!